Good day, future LPTs. So, in today's review lecture, we will be discussing about the Newton's law of motion. There are three laws of motion. These are the Newton's first law is the law of inertia. The Newton's second law is law of acceleration. And the Newton's third law is law of interaction. Before we discuss about the three laws of motion, we must first understand the concept of dynamics. So dynamics describes the relationship between the motion of objects in our everyday world and the forces acting on them. So there are two variables that we should know for us to fully understand dynamics. First is force. Force is the measurement of interaction between two objects, the pull or push. It is a vector quantity. It has a magnitude and direction. So force is an exerted effort to displace or to accelerate a mass or an object. Meanwhile, mass is the measure of how difficult it is to change the object's velocity. So this mass is defined in terms of dynamics. But in common definition, it is the quantity of particles in a matter. That is mass. So there are various forces that are involved or acts in an object that is in motion. So these are gravitational force, Archimedes force or the buoyant force, friction force, tension force, spring force, and normal force. So A, yan, makikita naman natin sa sample, yung gravitational force, yung pagbagsak ng apple due to the gravity. Yung sa B naman, yung pag-float ng ship or ng boat sa ibabaw ng tubig. So that is due to Archimedes force. Now, sa letter C naman, yung hirap ng pag-push ng B sa brick or sa object. It is because of the friction force coming from the two objects. Next, we have sa letter D, sa tension force. As you could see, the way how the man pulls the girl through the rope, diba? So, may delay. It is because of the tension force. Next is the spring force. As you could see, once the spring ay nahila or bumalik from the equilibrium state, babalik naman siya ulit sa position niya in a repetitive manner. Okay. And lastly, the normal force, yan. Now, we will discuss about the Newton's first law, which is the law of inertia. So, an object at rest tends to stay at rest, and an object in motion tends to stay in motion with the same speed in the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. So, if an object stays in that position, in that place, kapag walang gumalaw dun sa object na yun, walang external force na involved na nag-act upon on that object, hindi madi-displace yung object na yun. Hindi yun maaalis sa pwesto. Kahit gaano katagal yung lumipas. But if there is unbalanced force or an external force na nag-act upon on the object at na-displace yung object, then dun lang siya mawawala sa kanyang position. So, an object remains at rest as long as there is no net force. So, as you could see here from the other example, yung kotse at yung driver, nung same yung direction ng kotse at driver, same yung velocity nila. But then, nung may force na nag-act upon the car, yan, may binangga yung car na wall, yung velocity ng driver remains, di ba? Kaya, nung nag-stop yung car, nag-zero yung velocity ng car, pero yung velocity ng driver still remains, kaya tumalsik siya. Okay. So, an object moving with constant velocity continues to move with the same speed and in the same direction, the same velocity, as long as there is no net force acts upon it. So, kagaya dito sa example, di ba? Nung nag-slide yung mga objects in an inclined plane, dahil walang external force, hindi nahihinto yung object sa pag-slide in that inclined plane. So, tuloy-tuloy na yon kahit gaano katagal, as long as there is that plane. Now, we will proceed to Newton's second law, the law of acceleration. So, the acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the net force acting on it and inversely proportional to its mass. So, the formula for acceleration is A is equal to F over M, or the summation of F is equal to mass times acceleration. So, that is the formula for the second law. Now, as you could see from the GIF, that is the Newton's cradle. So, ang behavior ng Newton's cradle, kapag may nag-push doon sa marble, di ba? Gagalaw yung marble at babalik siya sa dati niyang position at ipupush niya yung other marbles. And at the end, magmumove yung marble at babalik siya sa position niya at itutulak niya yung other marble. And that behavior is repetitive. Now, what makes it involves the second law of motion? Kasi yung force from the other end is pushing the other marble. Kaya nag-accelerate yung other marble. And kapag balik niya, it will push the marbles and the other ends will accelerate again. And hanggang nagkaroon ng cycle or repetitive behavior. So as you could see from the GIF, this is a simple example of law of acceleration. So yung bata, okay, yung nagpupush ng cart, he is exerting force. And kung saan yung direction ng force niya, doon din yung direction ng velocity. 'Di ba? Kung going eastward, yung direction ng force, going eastward din yung velocity. And kung gaano kabilis, kalakas yung force na in-exert ng nagtutulak, kung dadagdagan niya yung force, mas bibilis yung velocity. But then, kapag nag-i-increase yung mass ng tinutulak or ng object, mas babagal yung velocity. Okay. Now, we will be discussing the third law of motion or the law of interaction. So, force 1 may be called the action force, and force 2 may be called as the reaction force. So, action-reaction forces to. So, actually, either force can be the action or the reaction forces. The action and reaction forces act on different objects. So as you could see here from the video, di ba? Yung white ball, ito yung force 1 natin, contains force 1, and yung red and orange balls contains force 2. Now, nung nag-collide yung two objects, yung white ball and orange ball, so nagkaroon ng action-reaction, di ba? Pinush ng white ball yung orange ball, kaya na-shoot yung orange ball sa butas, at yung white ball ay umatras. Okay, nagtulakan sila sa isa't isa. After nun, tinulak din ng white ball yung red ball, kaya kung saan yung force na tinulak siya ng white ball, doon napunta yung red ball, at yung white ball ay umatras dahil nagtulakan sila sa isa't isa. So, there is a action-reaction. So, kapag tinawag kasi natin the law of interaction, equal yung forces ng bawat isa. Kumbaga, kung gaano yung force na in-exert ng isang objects ay equal sa force na babalik sa kanya. And that is what we call action-reaction. So, mas madaling example tong pangalawang video. Nakita nyo, nung pagka-push or pagka-bato sa bowling ball, umatras din yung nagbato ng bowling ball. Because there is an action-reaction. Okay? So, for more videos, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And sana makapasa tayong lahat.